Winback Farm of Canada is home to 8 exceptional stallions, including Archangel, sire of Superfinal winner Safe Conduct, and Simcoe winner Twin B Archie. Better Than Cheddar, sire of 2 Superfinal gold winners, Cheesy Smile and Cold Creek Queso. Betting Lines, first Ontario crop foals in 2023. He's a sire of Millionaire Buckabed Hanover. Mick Wicked, Canadian Hall of Fame inductee, whose first crop will be 2 in 2023. And Trixton, sire of O'Brien Award winner Evident Beauty. Look for his first Ontario crop of the 2023 yearling sales. Also standing, Art Speak, Better's Delight, and My MVP. For more information, visit winbackfarm.com.
We're here at Sunshine Meadows with trainer Casie Coleman. Casie, you have a beautiful facility. We're out here on this great deck. Walk up. Jack Darling's vacationing here. I said it's like Canadian royalty down south here.
Yeah, Jack, he always takes a couple months off and he's down here on vacation, and he'll actually come and train some sets with me, and there's a lot of Canadians down here for sure.
We always talk about twos in training with this show, but we wanted to focus on Mollop Hanover. Just quickly, your 3-year-old coming back. You had high hopes for her last year. She was involved in a training accident. Talk to us a little bit about that day, the geese scare, and also how you like her chances for racing this year.
Yeah, so she trained down like a killer last year. I was very high on her. James McDonald was going to drive my horses last year, and he trained her, and he said she was one of the best 2-year-olds that he'd ever trained, and I agree myself too. I think she was one of the best 2-year-olds I trained. Anyways, she'd been at about 59, ready to qualify the next week. We're at Mohawk. I'm on front. James McDonald's in the 2-hole. Randy Waples was in the 3-hole. We're coming around the first turn, and there's a big pack of geese, like 10, 15 of them, and I hollered at the boys. I said, look out, there's a bunch of geese coming up here. And right as we got up to him, Mollop just did a U-turn. We were going a good clip, and she did a U-turn, and James T-boned me. He smoked me, our O'Brien Award winner, and I got dumped out of the cart. I managed to pull her up. I didn't lose her, and I drug quite a ways with her, and I ended up pulling her up, and I stopped her, and it seemed like everything was okay. But after that day, I couldn't figure it out. There was something going wrong. Finally, bone scanned her, found that she broke a tibia. Line Drive Hanover did the same thing, broken tibia, and just took a bunch of time off, came back fine. So she went and she was turned out with Anvil and Lace Farms in Lexington for the rest of the season, and she's training back unbelievable. I'm very high on her. I'm sending her out on Sunday. She's going to train here Saturday, a fast mile on the bike again. She's shipping with Doyle on Sunday. She's going to go to Anthony Beaton in Toronto and get ready to start her career.
Anthony had Line Drive Hanover for you. Let's talk about the 2-year-old out of Lillian Hanover. You know, a special place in my heart. Legendary Hanover. Tell me a little bit about this $260,000 purchase.
Yeah, I don't normally spend the big dollars, as everybody knows, and I loved that colt at the sale, and I wasn't looking for a Huntsville. I don't know much about Huntsville, nothing against him. I just wasn't looking for one. Love Line Drive, and it was obviously the brother. I really liked him. He's a bigger colt than I normally look for, but just was powerful and a good-looking animal. I ended up getting a partner in Eric Good. Him and Josh Green came and talked to me about buying a horse together, a colt, and if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have bought him because I wasn't going to go that high, but we went partners, bought the colt, and he's training fantastic so far. Very smart colt, great gait, great attitude. He wants to do it. He wants to, when you go to grab him, he actually hollers and whinnies every morning when he comes out to the track, when it's his turn to go to the track. Like, he can't wait to get out there. A little bit worried about his size as a 2-year-old. Like, he's a big colt, and I'm a little bit worried about his size for how much we can push him at 2, but we'll keep going along and see how he comes, but very happy so far.
When we were getting ready to talk, your massage therapist and pulse electromagnetic therapy person came up. Do you use that a lot to help with issues like that with soundness?
Yes, that was Ann Hennessy that you just spoke to a few minutes ago, and actually he's the first horse that I called her for this season, and he was getting a little bit off, like just little aches and pains. So I use Dr. Mitchell, who's a chiropractor, once a month pretty much on every horse, and I use Ann when they need it with massage therapy and pulsing. I haven't had to inject a joint on anybody, just doing those kind of therapies, and it helps a lot. Like, it makes a big difference. That horse in particularly, Legendary Hanover, since Anne's been working on him, and Dr. Mitchell has helped him a lot.
Do you go to painting? Are you like a knees, hock, stifle kind of person, or do you stay away from that?
Yep, I paint with just a light paint every day. The grooms do every day, knees, hocks, stifles, ankles. And then I'm going to say about every 3 to 4 weeks, I do like a cedar oil blister to everybody. I'll do like 3 to 5 days and blister them up. And I don't like having to, I own a piece of them all, so I don't like having to spend too much money on injecting them. And I don't really agree with having to inject joints on babies. So I go with painting, blistering, massage therapy, chiropractor, things like that.
Great. Moving on to Sinatra Hanover, another colt, Better's Delight, $100,000 purchase.
Yes, so Sinatra is a little bit of a funny story. He trained down fantastic early. I loved him. He started pulling up on us. He'd hit the backside over there around the half or so and just pull up, like literally stop, wouldn't go no more. I was like, uh-oh. Didn't want to have to geld him because he was so talented, but I gelded him because I was worried we're going to have nothing here soon. Owners agreed with me I could geld him, and since then he's been fantastic. He's a nice colt. I always have him follow. Actually, when you guys videoed him today, I said I tried to space them for you, but I said he's going to be following. I haven't let him on the front again ever since he's done all the pulling up earlier in the season. I think he'll be fine now, but I'm not willing to try it just quite yet, so I always have him follow, and then I'll let him brush home some, and he's a fast colt.
Is that something you'll wait and hold on until you move north to try to put him back in that role, cutting miles?
I'm going to start doing 2 trips here shortly. They're still just at 1 trip, and when I start doing 2 trips, when we go the first trip, I'm probably going to let him cut one and just see what happens and see what he does. But so far, I've just been braving him up, and he's been finishing with you're under a stranglehold with him, and he's been training like a killer, so I just want to keep him like that a little bit longer right now.
Handsome colt, Nijinsky, $120,000 Better's Delight purchase.
Yeah, I like this colt a lot. I call him Ninja all the time, and if you ever watch him on the track, like when he's jogging, he can be he can be a bit of a dick. Like he'll throw his front ones and strike and squeal. Like, he does quite the neat leaps and bounds there. When he trains, he's all business. Does nothing wrong training. He trains fantastic. He's a very fast animal. Reason I'm still keeping, realistically, he will be one that I think eventually I might have to say, hey, we need to geld him. I'm hoping he calms down some, but he's just so full of himself, and he does a lot of tricks out there on the track. And the same owners that own Sinatra that I made geld already also own Nijinsky, so I don't really want to geld him just quite yet, because I do think he's that talented that there's a chance for something down the road, but we'll see what he does. But he's a very nice animal. I'm pretty excited about him so far.
Well, you have studs. You've made incredible studs in our industry. Another horse you're known for that was jumping and leaping, Betting Line. How do you deal with those personalities, those studdy colts, when some other people decide to give them an attitude change much earlier?
Yeah, with Betting Line, actually, some of my staff asks me all the time, is he a Betting Line? Is he a Betting Line? I'm like, no, but he's the same. He's a Better's Delight, which was Betting Line. The Better's Delights are known for it. They can be badasses, and some of them can get sulky, some of them can get ignorant, some of them are just, if they're just playful and just like sharp and badasses, like that was Betting Line every day. He come down he was on his hind 2 feet, even going out to post braid to race. He'd be on his hind 2 feet. I had to lift the race bike up to tie his tail tie and drop the bike down. And but as soon as he goes behind the gate and he trains, all business, does nothing wrong. As long as they do nothing wrong in the training mile when it's time to race time, and they're not mean in the barn, like they're not kicking or biting or hurting anybody in the barn, but they're just like jerks to deal with on different things, I won't geld them. But if they show me the attitude where they're getting ignorant, sour, they're going to hurt somebody in the barn, you got to geld them. But yeah, I'm fortunate enough that I've got a handful of studs there, and obviously I don't want to geld them, but it is true, the majority, there's a whole lot more geldings than studs out there. So, and I always say I'd rather have $1 million gelding than a stud that made nothing. Some of them just got to get gelded.
Lottie Hanover, a daughter of Betting Line, a $69,000 purchase.
Yeah, she's been training fantastic. Really happy with her. When she goes slow, she always looks a little bit off to me, that filly, but it's just her. Like, it's just as soon as you turn her and go with her, she trains fantastic. But going slow, she's got this funky kind of gait to her. But she is training very good. Obviously, people are down on the betting lines. He hasn't had that world champion yet, and he hasn't had those Grand Circuit winners yet. So I'm hoping that between her and Mollop Hanover, I'm hoping that they can help say Betting Line a little bit here because people are down on him. I'm not at all. Line Drive Hanover, a Bettabuck Hanover, there's a bunch of them that are nice horses, but a lot of people have really given up on him. So I'm hoping Elode can do something good this season and get people back on his bandwagon.
Another one from your family, a Mick Wicked Weather filly, a $47,000 purchase.
Yeah, the Mick Wickeds look great at the sale. It's his first year with a full crop of horses for sale, and they look fantastic, just like him. This filly is actually out of a mare that I trained also. Her mother's Windy Sport, who I bought as a baby and trained. She was a fast filly. Wicked Weather's training fantastic. She's been a sweetheart since day one, does nothing wrong, and she's like a racehorse out there. Like, she could ready to go qualify if you want her to. Sweetheart in the barn, sweetheart on the track, and I'm pretty happy and high on her, so see what she can do this summer.
Well, you give all of us girl power hopes. We're all so proud of you and the things you've done. You had a huge stable. Now you're cutting back. How has your philosophy changed from, say, 5 years ago, 10 years ago to now?
Oh, it's changed a lot, big time. I used to have, it was usually around 100 to 130 horses between multiple different stables, between always in Canada. It was either Anthony Beaton or Mark McKinnon running my stable in Canada, and Andrew Harris always ran the New Jersey operation. Then I had a bunch here, and it was nonstop. Like, I was 24/7 racing and horses. I've backed it down. I have 13 horses here now, and I'm loving it. Now I can have more time for myself and actual life and enjoy just having a handful of horses, much less stress, and it's because of the stallions that I can afford to do that. But yeah, it's been way better this way. I got a life now too, and I'm even considering this year. I've been sending horses to Anthony Beaton, and he's done a very good job with them last season. Line Drive Hanover, main example, and these 3-year-olds I'm shipping out on Sunday. I'm going to ship them up to him, and I think that I might even send him up my babies, and I might just stay here and go back and forth and help out when I need to. But I'm kind of considering taking the summer off and just letting Anthony and maybe Andrew Harris in Jersey and Linda Toscano trained some for me and did a good job. So I might do that this summer, but I'm kind of undecided yet.
You have been one of the people, when everyone else is going around and beating their bodies into the ground on the Grand Circuit, you have found a work-life balance. How has that helped you health-wise? I mean, you look amazing, and I know that that's a big part of your life now.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, back when I worked nonstop racing, everybody's seen me. I was as big as a house, and I had no time for myself. I just would eat fast food at bad hours, never work out, and just stressed out nonstop, and not worry about myself even a little bit. And now that I've got myself in shape, now I'm like, I ain't doing that. I'm myself first. And I actually, every morning my alarm goes off at 5:15 a.m. I'm in the gym for an hour with a personal trainer, and then I come to work, and then I have no excuses to miss it. So no matter what, I always go to the gym. And actually, when I'm done work here, I'll probably go to 9 rounds, which is a 30-minute kickboxing class, and then I might even go to the gym again after that. I'm kind of addicted to it now, and I got a healthy lifestyle. I feel great, and it's a lot better.
Well, thank you so much, Casie, for taking time with us. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you, no problem.